Well, I'm absolutely delighted now to be joined by Clarice W. Dowdle, who is the founder of Senior Caregiving Today. Clarice, welcome. Lovely to have you on the programme. Now, I know you have these 10 tips for caregivers. We haven't time to go through all 10, but what would you say some of the main ones are?
Well, the most important thing that I think right now is one of the top tips is actually compiling all of your legal information and making sure that you have all your documents in place so that if a crisis arises, you have all the information you need. I know some people would talk about, for instance, oh, I know my dad's birthday, but they don't even know the year he was born. Okay, things like that. So really compiling information, and then maybe the next thing would be actually starting that dialogue with your parents. You know, we believe you should have some sort of a pre-aging document, which basically isn't a legal document, but something that starts a dialogue to basically say, you know, what are we going to do? What are our plans going to be? Where do you want to live? Who are your doctors? And what is the future?
But Clarice, that's a tough conversation to have.
Yeah, I think it is a hard conversation, but the thing is, you know, people spend so much time in their life having conversations about babies being born and birthday parties coming up and things like that, that unfortunately aging is part of life. And if you plan these things ahead of time, then you're not going to have a crisis. I think people get more scared when they're up against the wall and it's like, oh my gosh, mom fell, what are we going to do? You know, so this way they can plan ahead, and I think it's a smart thing to do.
You're giving a lot of useful tips there, but how easy is it for caregivers to actually take control of the situation?
Well, I don't know if it's ever going to be easy, okay, but I think that the best thing is to ease into a conversation and basically let the senior or loved one kind of direct, you know, what do they want? Because it's really about their life. You know, what are their wishes? Where do they want to live? Where do they see their future? Who are their best friends? And what is their community support? And, you know, what's important to them? And I think if you go at it that way, then you're more helping them help themselves rather than telling them what to do.
One of the things you're talking about at this particular event is the treasure chest of memories. What do you mean by that?
Well, we kind of came up with this idea that, you know, if you ever think about getting a treasure box or what would be a treasure chest, you know, you think about the anticipation of opening this box and what's in there. You know, how exciting could the treasures be inside of this box? And what we found with some of the older people that we've worked with is that they have tremendous lives of memories, okay, of music and dancing and food and places they've visited and people they've met. And why not ask lots of questions, listen, and really embrace what they have to talk about, and maybe put all that information together, maybe in a portfolio or in a journal, or have recordings done, and actually document all this. Because I think that what happens is all of a sudden someone passes on and you look through these albums of pictures and you don't know who these people are, and maybe it's lost forever.
Clarice, it sounds like a great idea to me. And what would it actually mean to caregivers?
I think it would be amazing. I think not only for the caregiver to have that information and build that connection, I think that would be amazing, and also for the actual senior, because they're getting to share, you know, their moments that maybe they've never talked about or heard about in 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years. And I think that it builds an emotional bond that is never going to be broken, and that when life transcends, then you can really look back and go, what a meaningful emotional experience this has been for both parties. And we think it's vital. I really do.
Well, Clarice, thank you ever so much indeed for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too.